Hello and welcome to Saturday, October the 18th. Why are you all the way over there? Because I don't have the camera turned correctly. That's the problem. Yes. So, yes, it is Saturday. It is Saturday. Just got home from working my 6th day. I'm still doing the overtime. I have this Friday, well, I guess the Friday that just got done, and then next Friday I didn't even think about it, but because I was going to have him schedule me for every Friday he could. The Friday after that is Halloween, and I'm not working that. Probably no matter what. I say no matter what. Gail, Angela, perhaps Sean. I've invited him along for whatever we potentially do. Gail has reached out and, was thinking about doing something on Halloween, so I might be hanging out with Gail and Angela, and maybe Sean. Because he was talking about going to Pal Gardens, maybe, and I knew Pal Gardens was like halfway in between Sean and us, so it's like if Sean... And I mentioned that, and of course Sean is very food motivated. I mentioned it to him. I don't know if it's something he'd already looked up, or if he looked it up when I mentioned it, but within 3 sentences, actually the second there was potential intent. He's like, "Oh, are you just going for the haunted trail? I think there's some kind of haunted trail out there." He's like, "Are you going earlier?" And so his second message after I told him about possibly going to Pal Gardens on Halloween, it showed some possible potential intent. And then his third message that he sent me was something about like, "Oh, they have a food thing at, before the trail, blah, blah, blah." So, I don't know. I did order some Taco Bell, and Minxie is now down there. I've left that on the floor, for Minx to, just like when I had the Burger King, I just picked that up because Mom's going to be here today. I don't know why she didn't mention a specific reason why she wanted to come down today. I think I mentioned a couple weeks ago, hopefully, I mentioned that her cat Sugar had passed, so she might still be kind of sad, lonely, at home alone. She still has Cinnamon, but Cinnamon's more of a diva and not quite as cuddly as Sugar was, so, but yes, Mom's going to be down today, so it's doing a little cleanup for that. And yes, I apologize to Josh and all of my, if you're watching, and any of my other Halloween decoration fans, if you happen to be watching. I fully intended to finish decorating for Halloween yesterday, and then I sat down and had food and fell asleep on the couch. So, sorry. Minx was part of the problem. I'll at least put part of the blame on her, because I knew, it's like I got home from Parks and Rec, and I'm like, I shouldn't sit down. If I'm going to do this, I should probably just go ahead and do it. And I was like, well, I wanted to take a shower first and, rinse the grass off of me because we had mowed. I actually got to drive the John Deere this week because the Hustler keeps wanting to cut out on me. But I ended up having to use it yesterday because the John Deere was trapped. So there's like a pole. There's like two bays, and then there's a pole in the middle of that. And for some the John Deere was parked behind the pole, and over in this bay was a tractor another John Deere, actually, whose battery had died, so it couldn't move. And then in this bay, there was the pickleball court paint, and usually they can move, it's like pallets of pickleball court paint. And usually they have the Bobcat there, and they can put the little forks in with the Bobcat and pick up the pallets and take them away. But the Bobcat wasn't even there, so the John Deere remained stuck behind the pole. So I ended up having to use the Hustler again, and it worked for a while. I mean, I kept having to shut it off every once in a while. Well, shut off the blades and then, wait a minute, I'd like, doom scroll through Facebook or play my Pokemon or something, and then turn the blades back on and go for another, few passes, another, 10, 15 minutes, whatever, and then it would start cutting out again. So I'd have to stop, wait. But then it even got to where, like, because I was trying to slow down the motor and, let it kind of, like, sit there for a minute and idle, I guess, and then, push it back up and, and go. But it got to where it didn't even want to, like, even if I, like, pulled the motor all the way down and let it sit there and idle for a while, it didn't want to, like, Charles finally gave me a call, and he's like, let's just load it back on the truck, so I was trying to get that way, and I stopped, like, I don't know how many times, and then, well, there's this bus of people that came in, so I waited for them, and then, Charles was sitting across the parking lot, and I just kind of crossed my fingers, and I jetted it, and I got to the, the ramp to put it up on the trailer, and it died. So I was like, fuck. But eventually I just let it sit there a minute, and turn it back on, and jetted it. And I thought it was going to cut out on me again, but it got up in there finally and parked, and so it was good. It was done. But yeah, I got home and wanted to, shower, so I showered, and to get the grass out of my face, and get grass out of my eyes, blah, blah, blah. And then I was like, well, maybe I do want some food, and then I had food, and then I ate, and then I sat down, and then Minxie jumped up on my lap, and I'm like, well, maybe I'll watch a YouTube video, and, or two, maybe. I can't remember how many I ended up watching, because Minx was on my lap. And I ended up falling asleep. So I did not get the Halloween decorations done yesterday. There are a few of the, the regular suspects, the usual suspects. I went ahead and took the raccoons out of my window and set up the, the ghost children, and of course the haunted doll, the evil doll I have hanging on my door. So the usual suspects, some of the usual suspects from the last few years. But so I'm partially decorated, but I have other things I want to do, and it's just kind of like, it's been sleeping and, when I get a chance, but I don't know if I mentioned that I made some money moves. I just kind of juggled some debt around, and I borrowed from the loans, the online revolving line of credit, whatever they call them. I went ahead and reborrowed from them enough to pay off my 401k, and then I reborrowed from my 401k enough to pay off, like, all these loans. In fact, I'm giving Mom money this weekend. That had nothing to do. She had already mentioned about coming down this weekend before, I mentioned anything about money. Of course, I was trying to, like, I was like, if you want to, because I was trying to send her money through Venmo, and I don't know, for some reason it wasn't working there. I swear our bank app used to let me transfer money directly to her, because I think that's how I was giving her the $50 a month. Was it said something about transfer money to a friend or something, and I was able to select, from my account to her account. I don't know if they took that option away or if they moved it and I can't find it. I don't know. I swear I was using the Bank Midwest app to do that, but I don't know. But yeah, so before I even mentioned anything about money, giving her money, she mentioned coming down this weekend. There's that. Oh my goodness. I don't know if there was a train of thought going there, but it derailed. So I was like, my sister is down, and they're having breakfast this morning. I don't know what time. But so Mom said she probably wouldn't be as early as she usually is. But, money moves. I was talking about money moves. But yes, I borrowed enough from my 401k to pay off these, online revolving line of credit, blah, 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 blah. CashNet USA, you may have seen their commercials. That was one of them that I had, and a couple others. So, Speedy Cash, and a couple months ago I had to add on net credit to pay rent. So, but now all of those are done. I won't have any of them taking money out of my check every 2 weeks. The only thing that, you know, my 401k pays itself back from my paycheck, but the lowest I've ever had to pay CashNet USA was $175. I was not at that point at the moment. Hopefully Mom's not watching this because she'll be very mad at me, because she told me no more payday loans. Technically these are payday loans. They're online revolving line of credit, blah, blah, blah. Same fucking thing, really, when you think about it. But yes, CashNet USA was taking out about, because I was at the top of my amount that I could borrow, so all the interest, all the blah, 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 blah. But they were taking about $300 every paycheck for the last couple paychecks, because I'm up at the top. Now that, I mean, that payment goes down, you know, the more payments you make, but it doesn't go down very quickly. I think the one was like 300 and something, and then I think the next one was going to be 280 something, so basically 300. But yeah, once you get down far enough with CashNet USA, or once I did, the lowest amount I've ever had to pay them was $175. And then Speedy Cash was like $129, at least until I reborrowed, but it's okay. I'm done with them now. So yeah, Speedy Cash was $129. And Net Credit was something, like I said, I'd added on recently. I think the payments to them was only like 60 something, because I didn't borrow that much. I just borrowed enough to be able to pay rent. So I think they were only like 60 something dollars, blah blah blah, whatever. But all they're taking out of my 401k every 2 weeks to pay it back is like $108. So it's less than one of my payments to, I mean, not Net Credit, but, you know, like I said, I didn't borrow very much from them anyway. I probably could have got them paid back pretty quick, maybe. Maybe not. I can't remember how much I owed, I don't know. But they're done now, so it doesn't matter. It's, you know, I won't be having money taken out of every single paycheck. I mean, I will for my 401k, but that's it. And I get the money to pay Mom back, and so it's all copacetic there. I don't know why I got off on that tangent, but hopefully, once again, the train derailed, so hopefully there wasn't a point I was trying to get to and lost it. I don't know. Other than to say, now I probably don't need to go in for overtime as much as I have been, you know. Like, Parks and Rec this season is, I went every day this week. Monday I only got in 2 hours. I mean, 2 hours is better than none, I guess, when you're trying to, you know, make money. I do still have Tower Loan. And because I reborrowed from them last month, and now I'm like, I think I'm up to like $6,000 with them. But doing this overtime, you know, now that I only have just them to pay, well, in student loans, but I'm gonna try to put them back into deferment. So it just came out this month, so we'll see how that goes. Wish me luck. So that I can just put that off a little bit longer, so that maybe I can focus on paying off Tower Loan and being done with them before moving on to something else. Just kind of enjoy having money for a minute, you know. Just enjoy something, not taking money out of every single fucking paycheck for a change, you know. Oh man. It'll be nice. I won't know what to do with all this extra money. I mean, I bought some Scratchers tickets today for Mom and I to play with, and then I spent $10 in the claw machine trying to get Power Rangers out of there, and I had the Green Ranger twice and it dropped him, and I was like, ugh. And then he got stuck back in kind of, because he was in the back anyway. I didn't expect it to pick him up, to be honest, but then it dropped him in there kind of sideways, and then he was stuck in there between the Flash and some pink motherfucker. I don't know. The claw kept getting stuck on either the Flash or the pink motherfucker when I would try to grab the Green Ranger. I tried for the Yellow Ranger a couple times, and it definitely went around her head twice, but it did not pick her up. So I think the claw may have just worn out or something. I don't know. But so I spent like $60 this morning before I left. Because I ended up getting like $50 worth of Scratchers tickets, you know, for Mom and myself. So, since she's coming down. Because they have the Christmas ones out. They're kind of pretty. Well, and I have Tetris. I'm going to let Mom decide if she wants the blue one or the red one with that, sorry. But then there's the holiday lights one. It's all shiny and nice. And then there's the Nutcracker Cash. So see, he's all like swoopy. Not that I'm wanting to necessarily get into fucking Christmas, because, you know, it's Halloween. Spooky. And then Jesus. You know, like, that's the line. Noise. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it for my life. Is working too fucking much? I don't know for sure. I believe that's what I was getting ready to say and almost lost it. I don't know for sure how much longer the season is going to last with Parks and Rec. I know last year the boss tried to like, you know, give us things to do to make sure to, you know, to have, you know, to be able to keep us around and pay us for as long as he possibly could, you know. But that's what he rented the dumpster to clean out the shop. I mean, there's still some mowing to do. It was a little bit shaggy. It's kind of like there's parts that are shaggy, but then it's like you have to go through all these parts that are not really that shaggy to get to it. So it kind of looks like you're just mowing nothing, but it's like you're just trying to mow the shaggy areas, I guess. But I was thinking there was something else I was going to mention this week, but fuck if I know. But yeah, so I don't know how for sure. And Lions Lake, they have drained it because they're doing a project on it. They were checking for algae, checking the algae something, checking to see if there was algae or if it was, you know, a dangerous amount of algae. I don't know. They were going to dig it deeper so they could put bigger fish in it, from what I understood. And they were going to put some kind of board, I guess you would call it a boardwalk. It's some kind of walkway that goes from one side of the lake to the other. So it'd be like this long bridge across the lake. Bridge, boardwalk, whatever. I don't know. Is it a boardwalk if it's just kind of like out in the water and it comes back? I don't know. So, I mean, there is no lake at the moment, because last year they set up Christmas decorations. They had kind of a light-up walk around Lions Lake, and it was nice because there was a lake. But there's no lake this year. So I don't know if they're going to try to set up the Christmas light walk somewhere else. If they're going to set it up at all, I don't know. What exactly if they're gonna have, you know, some kind of replacement for that, since Lions Lake is not an option this year. I mean, they might go ahead and do it anyway, even though there's not really a lake. You could decorate on the middle of it, put like, you know, a bunch of trees or something, a bunch of Christmas trees out in the middle of the dirt. Some of it's mud, I think, but there's still like little ponds here, a little pool of water here, a little pool of water there. But yeah, it's dry, and it's, you know, there's been like grasses grow up in it now, and, you know, so I don't know if they're going to do anything with it, but that was one of the things that was able to keep us around a little bit longer, is because we helped with the decorating for the Christmas trail, you know. But I don't know if that's going to be an option this year. So I don't know for sure how much longer the season with Parks and Rec is going to last. You know, I mean, if they'll have me back next year, I'll probably go back next year, just to really solidify. Because it's like, you know, like I said, I still got tower loan to pay. I still got student loans to pay. But maybe if I can get down to just having student loans to pay, like if I can pay off tower loan and be done with them, which working all this overtime at my regular job will help. You know, will help that. You know, maybe I can start saving back money for Vacay Day 2026. You know, so we shall see. Or whatever adventure, you know, Sean Merrily and I decide to get up to next time. We'll have to. We don't have anything on the books at the moment that I can think of. But you never know when Merrily's going to see a random TikTok and just be like, "Hey, we should go do this," and then immediately. Sean's our planner. He's like, let's go do this, and like starts doing research on like Airbnbs and everything else. So we were talking about maybe going back to Hot Springs again for next St. Patty's Day. But I don't know, since at least her and I will get a bonus around that time, as long as they don't take it away again. You know, we shall see. So, you know, we'd have that extra money to go with. So we may do something around St. Patty's Day, but that's quite a few months off, you know. I know Marilee's mom is planning on moving down to Hot Springs, Arkansas. Not exactly sure when. I think like next year, like next June or something. So there may be plenty more trips down to Hot Springs to go see her mom, you know. But yeah, we don't have anything planned at the moment that I can think of. No grand adventures. Sorry, it is the holidays. It's getting closer to the holidays, so that might make it a little bit more difficult today. But then like I said, Halloween, you know, Gabe, Angela, and possibly Sean and I will be doing that. Marilee will be in Hot Springs. That's why we didn't plan anything, because we usually plan something for Halloween. But Marilee's going to be in Hot Springs spending time with her niece, because, you know, her niece is finally old enough to, she's at that age where she can actually, like, kind of participate in Halloween and enjoy it. So Marilee's excited to watch her niece, you know, her niece's kind of first Halloween. I mean, it's not, you know, her first Halloween. The kid's a couple years old now, but she's old enough, like I said, to know what it is, and, you know, have fun with the costumes, and, you know, have fun going around for candy and stuff, you know, or cry the whole time because they just want to go home. Like, that's me at work, you know. Anytime I have to leave the house, I just cry. Can I go home? When can I go home? But so. Yeah, but, you know, that's why Marilee is not involved in the Halloween plans, because she has her own. So, whatever, queen, you know. Anyway, we have a question. So, since I don't have anything else earth-shattering to share with you that I can think of, and if there was, I can't think of it. So, we'll move on. Would you rather keep your best friend and lose your other friends, or lose your best friend and keep your other friends? Why? Well, that's a dumb question, and I don't like it. I mean, I don't even really know. Like, I guess I have multiple best friends. Like, I don't know that anybody's like a best friend. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think I have multiple best friends. So I can only keep one of them, I guess. I don't know. I mean, even if it's somebody I don't see all the time anymore, you know, like you know, my friend Robert, who I've known since 4th grade, my friend Jason, who I've known since 1st grade, been, you know, lifelong good long friends with. I don't get to see them very often, but I still consider them best friends. You know, I mean, I don't see Sean as much as I used to. You know, I definitely don't see Nick as much as I used to see him when he lived here in town. You know, but it's like, I mean, Marilee's probably the friend that I see the most. You know, and then it's like, I don't know. I guess I don't categorize people that way in some ways, because it's like, you're all my friends. I don't value one over the other, you know. It's like I never get it. I mean, maybe for Halloween I'll get to hang out with Gail and Angela. At least Angela I used to see at work sometimes. But now that, you know, they moved the next town over, like, I don't even see Angela at all, you know. Like, I don't get to hang out with them often, but I consider them good friends, you know. It's like, or at least I don't know. I don't. There again, I guess maybe you define that yourself, where the line is, you know. Like, I just consider people friends. I don't consider anybody better than the other, or like, oh, you're my best friend. I mean, like I said, Robert and Jason, I guess, are kind of in a different tier, because I've known them since high school. Well, I guess I've known them since elementary school, fourth grade and first grade. So they're like my lifelong friends. That's like, I mean, I don't get to hang out with them much anymore, because we all grew up and have lives of our own, and usually, of course, Robert lives in the city, and I used to go play Dungeons and Dragons. Actually, I have a couple old videos. I'll see if I can find those, and if I remember, link them below, where I went to his house once to play Dungeons and Dragons. And their child's rabbit toy killed me. I'm a clone of myself. I don't know. I mean, I don't get to, every once in a while he'll come down here for something. He's talking to the local church or something, or one of the local youth groups or something, and when he's in town, he's like, hey, let's get together and, go out for dinner and go play some frisbee golf or something, And Jason, I mean, he lives back, where I grew up, but it's like, usually I'm home for a quick something, and then it's like, or I'm back at mom's house for a quick something, and then I'm back down here, because it's like, it's like, well, back to work, chop chop. Like, I don't spend much time at mom's house. I mean, I guess I do after my doctor's appointment, because I'm sitting around on Tuesday doing nothing. But it's like, usually I'm going down to like maybe for one of my uncle's parties or something. So I mean, I don't get to see, but usually I'm going back to mom's house for something very specific, and I don't really have time to like be like, message Jason and just be like, hey, I'm in town, you want to hang out? Because it's like, we're doing something. So I don't know. If you would ask me right now who my actual best friend is, I don't really know. I mean, I guess I hang out with Sean and Marilee the most, because we go on our adventures, but it's like, I don't really consider any of them better than the other. I don't consider, I don't, like, Nick's, like, if you're my friend, like, you're my friend. It just doesn't, it doesn't matter. Like, I don't know. My brain has never worked that way, I guess. It's like, if you're my friend, you're my friend. There's no, participle. There's no adjective to go along with it. There's no title. It's just, other than friend, you're my friend. I don't know. I've just never, so if you were to ask me right now, gun to my head, who's my best friend, I'd be like, Jesus. I don't know. That's not true at all. But, like, I don't know. Like I said, I probably spend the most time with Marilee, because, I go to break with her. I eat lunch with her at work. We go on our adventures together, and it's like, I don't know. Like, I couldn't actually honestly answer who my best friend is. I mean, I guess, how many bests does there have to be? I don't know, but I always hate it when people qualify the question in their own manner. Like, I hate it when people will do that. They'll be like, oh, you have to choose between this, that, or the other, and they're like, well, this with the blah 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 side of that, blah blah blah. Like, that's not the question. The question was, choose this, that, or the other. You can only choose one, and then people fucking cheat and have their cake and eat it too, and choose more than one. And I'm like, that's not the rules. So I'm going to attempt to answer this question. Would I rather keep my best friend and lose all my other friends? Keep your best friend and lose your other friends, or lose your best friend and keep your other friends? Why? I mean, I guess if I had a best friend, that would probably be the one that you would want to keep, because they're the best one. Right? It's like you just throwing back the ones with the dings and the bruises and and the scrapes, like, like a discounted refrigerator or something. So, I mean, I guess my best friend would probably, what qualifies a best friend? I don't even know. I don't know. I guess that idea has kind of always been dumb to me. Like, I don't know. is that somebody's a better friend than somebody else. You know, I don't know. I guess you hang out with them more, you know, spend more time with them. But I mean, I guess my best friend, they would probably be the one that, you know, I would be the most connected with, I guess, in some ways. Like maybe they knew where the bodies are buried, you know. So it's like I gotta keep your best friend around, otherwise they, you know, I mean, you would hope that they wouldn't, you know, release your Epstein files or something and like tell everybody everything they know, you know. If you were to, you know, drop them like a hot potato or something. But I would think if I had somebody that meant enough to me that I would consider them a best friend and I would give them that qualifier, then that would be the one that I would have to keep, you know, and just lose all of my other friends. And then, I mean, I guess you can always make new, better, I mean, maybe not better friends, but, you know, make new friends, make new connections with different people. Especially in my business, retail, where it's like there's new people all the fucking time, and half of them I don't even know their names, you know, half the time. Like I try to learn people's names, especially if they've been there for a couple weeks, because I'm like, oh well, maybe this one's gonna stay, and then they don't, and it's kind of like, oh, never mind, you know, like why? There was a guy the other day. He didn't realize I knew his name. He heard somebody say his name, and it was me, because we were talking about, oh, who's working paper goods, and I said his name's Logan. I guess it stuck out to me when somebody said that, especially because I thought, oh, Wolverine, you know. But they're like, oh, who's over there working paper goods? And I said Logan and one of the other new guys, who's like too new. I didn't know his name at the time, and I don't remember who it was, or if they still work there, if I even know their name, you know. And he was looking around because he's like, did somebody say my name? And it's like, oh yeah, that was me. And he's like, I didn't even know you knew my name. He's like, I don't know your name. So I like covered up my name badge real fast so he couldn't cheat. But so yeah, I mean, you can meet new people all the time, you know, make new connections if you want to. Or I can just sit in my house and not go anywhere or do anything or, you know, interact with any other people. I just sit here in my pajamas and sleep, which is probably what I should be doing right now before Mom gets here. What time is it? 8:30. Oh, the clock. Okay. I thought I had a text message from Mom. I'm like, oh my God, I missed something. But no, that's just telling me. It tells me super early in advance when I need to take my Eliquis. It's like, do you want to shut off your upcoming alarm? It's like, no, I should probably take my Eliquis. I guess it's important. But yes, like I said, if I felt strongly, if I felt strongly enough about someone that I would consider them a best friend, I feel like that's the one that I should keep, you know, and just get rid of all my other friends. But so if I had to answer the question the way that it's actually worded, if I have to make a decision, I will make a decision and I will actually answer the question, and that would be my answer to that question. I don't know. You want to see me take that? Because I still have my hair in a ponytail. I haven't even, because I was taking out the trash, and then I was like picking up a little bit, cleaning up, so it's like, that's pretty much, and then I sat down to answer this question, so I haven't even taken my hair out of the ponytail yet. That did nothing. There's not much back there to... Hey. Wash. Well, I do need to take a shower. At some point. I just don't know, man. I don't know why I said wash. I don't know. I think maybe I meant to say whoosh, and it came out whoosh, wash, whatever the fuck I just said. Oh, Lord. I might need a nap. Sometimes naps make things worse. I don't know. But your question is asked oh my God. Your question is not asked. Your question is answered. Your Halloween decorations might be ready soon. I'm hoping maybe I should do it Monday. Maybe I could do it Monday since, I mean, There's not much Halloween. There's not much of October left. We're halfway through this bitch. So maybe it's about time that I do something about that. But we shall see. Hopefully. We shall see. But anyway, oh my god. Blah. That's this. That's that. That's the other, I suppose. And I'll see you for what I see you.